Hi there, Pride Plant Girl here. Well, there's a bit of a revolt in my household, and I need to find some potatoes because my family, husband especially, is getting sick of rice and beans and things like that, pasta, so he really wants some potatoes back in the diet here. So I gotta go see. My early planting of potatoes just didn't work out the way I wanted, and we're still waiting for those plants to mature and do their thing, and I'm not sure if it's the compost that went in or care they got. I don't know what it is, but they're just not filling in the way I expected. But we're gonna go dump another pot out today and see what we get because we need potatoes in the house. So let's go find my potatoes. I moved all my potatoes out here away from the fence. So they're getting more sun. They're all my like pots of potatoes are pulled up here. They're getting more sun. They're more in the open. We've had a lot of rain lately, so they should be getting some rain, and I've been coming by and just checking if they need water with the watering can, but they seem like they're doing all right. This here is the pot where I'd replanted those seed potatoes. There's no action there yet that I've noticed. I haven't dug down. I just have some grass on top. No sprouting. I think that was about, oh, there's a little sprout. Right. Shadows are on it. Right here. I don't know if you can see that. One there. So they are sprouting again. So I might get a second batch out of that one. So now I have these all mixed up. Luckily I labeled the Caribe ones that I planted. They're an earlier potato too, and they're a nice potato. But the Linzer Delicatesse were done first. And geez, they're supposed to be, what was it, like 10 weeks or something, and they've been in here for months and months, and they just don't look like they're maturing at all. This pot over here, I stole a few out of it one day, and it's looking kind of nasty. I think this is a red norland. They're not looking that healthy, so I think that's the pot I'm going to dump out today and just see what happens with it. So I think I'm going to set up on the table, so I'm going to go clean things up, and then we'll get this pot and we'll see what's inside it. So red norland is supposed to be about 70 days. It's a fairly smooth skinned potato. It's supposed to be scab resistant, and I believe I planted these early May, so they should have had close to their 70 days now. These I think were done in mostly potting mix with a little bit of compost bits in it as well. So. I did steal some out of these a few weeks ago, so we'll see what's left. Oh yeah, so these had some leaves and not fully broken down compost. No, that looks like leaves on the bottom here. So little bit of leaves on the bottom. Oh, have an ant's nest in there. See all the little eggs. Get rid of you guys. Maybe that's the problem with my potatoes. Maybe they're full of ants this year. Hoping to reuse some of the soil because I have a another pot that's not doing well, but needs some better drainage. I was hoping to use this soil, so hopefully the ants aren't too bad. This is not looking good. More ant eggs. Well, this is disappointing. I think this was just one potato in here, and I did steal some out of it for a meal. Oh no, there was 3 in here. Oh well, that's bad news. I never found a seed potato. Is that a seed potato? No. Wow. Well, that's terrible. So that's what I got there. I think I pulled 4 or 5 potatoes about this size out, like I said, a few weeks ago. And then just a few little nubbies here. So that's really not a good return on your investment. That doesn't make me happy. Anyway, I guess that's still not enough for a meal, so I better find another pot here. My potatoes just are not doing well this year. Let's see what else I can find. Okay, so this is one of the Linzer delicatesse. Again, they don't even look ready, but they should have been ready like a month ago. I planted these in April, I believe it was, in the cold frame here. And they're supposed to be like something like 10-week maturity. The potatoes just aren't pulling their weight this year. I even put a little bit of fertilizer on some of these pots, so I don't normally do that with potatoes too much. This is one of the pots I made, if you've seen the video where I made the pots. Well, we have potatoes. Okay. Oh, ants on me now. So these are fingerling. They should be nice little potatoes like this. Here's the seed potato. Again, it just doesn't look like it's being used up. Like they're just not. This one has a little bit of old compost in the bottom of it as well. And then I think it was a mix of potting soil and steer manure. Can't remember if I put bone meal in these or not. Sometimes I do, especially with the potatoes in pots. To look back at that. Well, this isn't a bad return off of this. I think I'd put 2 seed potatoes in each of these pots, and I've just pulled out another one. Again, firm, looking good. Like these just aren't, they just don't want to die here. So that's the Linzer delicatesse there. So, I mean, not even a pound of potatoes out of that. It's pretty pathetic this year. And look at these. These look perfect still. Well, this one's a little squishy. That one's used. This one, it's not done. So, I don't know. Maybe I should replant it too. Leave it here, see what it does. Okay, so there's one more place that I'd like to go looking for potatoes, and I'm not sure how that's going to turn out. And I've been kind of nervous about digging this one up, but I think it needs to be done. So I'm going to give you a look at this one, and we'll see how it goes here. Right here is my big pots that I planted up this year. And they have corn and melons or squash, and some have onions and flowers in them. And I had put some soil in these that had been used for potatoes last year. And I don't normally have potatoes over winter. I don't normally need to worry about leaving little bits. But somehow I seem to have managed to get a volunteer potato in this bin here. It's flowering, it's setting its little potato seeds on here. These might look like something you could eat, but they're not. Don't eat these, they're poisonous. And in here is my best watermelon that I have, and I don't know if you can see it from this side, but it's growing up through the trellis, looking great. I'd like to get this potato out of here because I think it's probably shading the melon along with the corn and taking a lot of nutrients out of the soil, and I'd like to get it out, but I'm a little scared to disturb the roots of the watermelon. I should have just pulled it out when it was little. I don't know what I was thinking, but I'm going to take it out now. Hopefully I can just dig around and find some potatoes without disturbing the watermelon too much here. I'm going to just cut off the stalk. I'm guessing this is a red norlands from where the soil came from. You know, these little snips are not enough. And by the looks of the branches, there's a ladybug in there. Oh. Hooked on the trellis. So yes, obviously it hasn't died back yet. It's not totally done growing, but it's in the way. I didn't plant it here. And it's one of my most vigorous potatoes I have, so it's already bloomed, set some seeds, so there should be potatoes in the ground here. And I want to get it out of the way of this watermelon if I can. Let's see. I'm not feeling any potatoes in there. Not a single potato. Oh. There's another one. So I got two. As much as I want to dig in there, I don't know. This is just the weirdest year. That great big plant, flowered, set seed. I mean, I should have easily been able to steal a few this size and still had more underground. I don't know what's going on with the potatoes this year, but It's not a potato year for me here. I've never had a return like this. Yeah, I don't want to mess around with the roots. There's gotta be more potatoes in here, but I don't want to mess around with the roots of these other plants that much more. I've already done enough damage. It's so weird. Well, I guess that's the potatoes we're getting. That is just, I really hope they start doing their thing here. Got some heat now. It was a really cool, kind of weird spring, and maybe that just has slowed everything down. I don't know. I don't even know what to say. I should have had more potatoes in this by now. So that's my potato haul. 3 pots. I think that's 6 seed potatoes if I counted correctly. Okay, so the camera overheated and turned off here, and I'm not sure what point, but it looks like we got to me getting the potatoes out of that pot with the corn and the watermelon there. So I just want to weigh these, even though it's not spectacular. And I went and looked at my notes just to see and double check. And the Linzer Delicatessen were planted April 18th. So what is it? July 15th now. So that's 3 months ago. So they should definitely be done. And the Norlands were April 23rd, so only a week later. So really, they should be all close to done or getting there. The Norland could be a little longer, but I don't know that one in that big pot that just did its own thing, but I put that compost in there about that time. So see how much we got out of them. I gave these a little rinse when I went in. That a tear. So it looks like 379 grams of the Linzer Delicatessen there. Let's see what the others were. Okay, so these 2 were in that pot on their own, so I'm going to weigh them separate. This one's looking a little scabby, this tiny one. Tear out the bowl. So 278 grams on that. Yeah, 278, 277, something like that. Okay. And now these other 2 are disappointing, but really they are just bonus potatoes. I didn't plant them, not intentionally anyways, so back to 0. 113 grams. I don't know what to say. This is my worst stint of growing potatoes I've ever had in my life. I just they're just not producing for me. By all intents and purposes, those plants, the Linzer Delicatessen for sure, should be ready to go and harvestable by now, and they're just not. They're not finishing their life cycle the way I would like to see them do, and they definitely have potatoes in them, but they're not growing to the size they could. Last year I was getting potatoes, I think 3-4 times the size of this out of there. So I don't know, these would be delicious, these nice little potatoes, but I definitely could be getting more. And the red Norlands shouldn't be real far behind them, and they're just not doing a whole lot either. So I don't know. It was a funny spring, and I don't know if that has to do with it, or if I'm just, we all have bad years and things, and maybe this is my year for potatoes. But we're going to take these, we're going to enjoy them, and I'll check back in a few weeks and see what the potatoes are doing then. But I don't think this is going to be a big year for storing potatoes by the looks of things. But that's my potato harvest for July 15th. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.